magazine delighted today. Fabio Wardley here, hometown of Ipswich. We will fight at Portman Road on Saturday. Nice hometown conference, but other than that, how's things? How are you?
Yeah, everything's going well, thank you. It's been a nice, chilled, pretty relaxed week. No picking myself up and moving myself to London or Saudi or wherever else. It's just been nice and easy, all homebound.
Sorry, just turning the mic straight. So it's all good. I guess, how's it feeling? I mean, in the white collar days, did you ever box in Ipswich? Like, when was the last time?
Yeah, 3 out of 4 of my fights were in Ipswich. Yeah. So, it's funny actually. I guess it has a bit of a similar feel to that in a sense. It's an interesting one. It's a bit of a mix around of things, a bit of a change around, but it is good.
How do you deal with that dynamic of having that home comforts? I guess, as you say, you're not travelling all down to London, or you're not travelling up whereabouts or Saudi. Is it sort of more comfortable? I guess how does the dynamic feel when it is so close to yourself?
Yeah, it's definitely more comfortable. There is a level of you need to add that. You need to add a bit of separation between. You need to kind of move yourself into game mode and know that obviously a fight's coming. So obviously, although I'm still in the same town, I've taken myself away. I'm in a hotel on my own with the team and stuff, or just me and the team. So we are creating that barrier because ultimately, although it feels nice and comfy and easy, there is a fight at the end of the week that we need to be focused on.
Is that dynamic, I guess, of being focused a little bit harder when it's at home? Because I'm sure you've got loads of people asking you for tickets and whatnot, and I'm sure you've got people who put that in order for you. But when it is your hometown, I'm sure you're getting pulled left, right and centre. So does it make it, I guess, that a little bit difficult to try and stay focused, or you have to make that extra effort?
No, we've done this enough times now in general, obviously not at home, but in general, to have the right kind of protocols, whatever, in place to create that separation between me and everything else in the outside world, so I can stay focused on the job at hand.
I guess the final presser with Justis today. Make anything of it? Look, Justis is pretty respectful in most of the things he says, but I guess sort of made you make the dynamic of the final time everyone and all the team will trade words before you do fight on Saturday.
Yeah, not too much to take from it. Ultimately, I don't read into these things too much anyway, even if he was about to shout, scream, flip a table, whatever else, or he's just quiet and composed like he is. Either one is fine by me. There's not much to take from it. Look, he says he's ready to go, he's ready to get stuck in on the night, and I'm just looking forward to it.
That's the thing, because I know Wally mentioned it there before about talking about the first Miller presser and how all the things that are being said, it getting physical. Is there an importance in that and none of that really, that outside factor doesn't really motivate you? Is there an important factor that's saying, like, regardless if you're going to shout, you're going to push me, or you're going to be quiet, that there's still the same outcome on Saturday?
Yeah, literally. Nothing you do in the build-up will affect anything, especially for me on Saturday night. Again, if you shout, scream, rant, rave, it makes no difference if you're as quiet as a mouse either. Nothing will change the way I've prepared. Nothing will change the way I'm going about my work on Saturday night.
One of the things that got mentioned as well, talking about mentioning the power. Justis was basically saying that that's the only thing that you've got over him. Do you feel like when it comes to sort of having something to prove, do you feel like there's part of you that I've got power, and you mentioned, you said it in the face-off, saying you only need to be right for 1 second, but you also want to prove, look, I've got other things to my game as well. Like, do you find that stuff disrespectful when people say those sort of things? I
don't necessarily disrespectful. Maybe naive. Maybe. Like I said in previous presses and things, I would urge people to, or I'd urge him and the team to maybe do a bit more research and have a look and double check your facts, really, because there are fights where I've proven I can box people and just look, I've finished it with a knockout, but then 6-7 rounds or whatever else it was before, I boxed that person and set everything up properly. So just because my fights haven't always gone the distance like a lot of his has, doesn't mean I haven't got any less of a boxing IQ.
Because that's the thing, because I know Dev brought up earlier in the talk about, look, when Justis had however many years before you even started boxing, do you feel like it's a case of, well, you feel like sometimes, look, appreciate me on what I've done as a pro, regardless of how I got there. Like, look, I've beat Gorman, I've beat Adelaide, I beat Fraser Clark, etc. That sort of things. Like, is there a case where it's like, look, just focus me on that, regardless of how I got to that point? Do you find that sort of aspect? In a sense?
Yeah, look, I think people can get very much distracted with the whole white collar thing and or lack thereof experience. I wouldn't say frustrating, no. Look, don't get me wrong, it makes for a good story, it makes for a good headline and everything else. But ultimately, it seems to keep playing into my hands that people are underestimating my skills, my abilities, the determination I have when I get in that ring. So long may it continue, I guess.
And you've got obviously a big week this week, but also potentially next week as well, with a child coming as well. How do you deal with that whole factor? It must just be completely mad.
Yeah, it's all going off a bit at once. Two huge life events for me are going off within a week or so of each other. So yeah, it's all happening, but it's just one job at a time. We focus on Saturday night, tick that off, get that job done, and then Sunday chill and just wait for the little one to arrive.
Before I did let you go, actually, I wanted to ask you about a video doing around. I don't think it was from anything recent, but obviously a video of Justis Huni getting dropped in sparring. Sparring about a head guard. Yeah, what do you make of it? I guess doing the rounds, especially when it's so close to his fight, like, do you think that provides a distraction for him, or something that I guess he was already aware of?
I think it's quite an old video. I saw it prior to ages ago while we were doing research and looking over him and stuff. And it's seen, and I know it. Like, it's nothing new. And yeah, he gets caught and gets hurt and goes over. I don't know if there's really anything at all to take from it, aside from he got caught and he got hurt. And ultimately, that can happen to all of us. It might not be on film or whatever else and doing the rounds like it is for him, but it can still happen.
Yeah, interesting stuff. And Fabio, appreciate you taking time to speak. Always good to speak to you, and yeah, all the best for Saturday.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.